So I wanted to hop on quickly and show you this piece that I received from a company called Glamvigor. I had not heard of them before until they reached out and said, would you like to try one of our pieces? And of course I said yes, I'm always keen to try new pieces. And I've opened this about 20 minutes ago and I'm genuinely shocked as to how lovely it actually is. So shocked that I had to check the description on the website because I thought they'd sent me a human hair piece when they were supposed to be sending me a synthetic. It is synthetic, but it feels like human hair. The fibres are like fine human hair and they're really soft and they're really silky, and I'm just in awe of how beautiful this actually is. The only thing I've done with this since taking it out of the box is I've trimmed the lace, because the lace was quite long and it sort of came down past my eyes, so I didn't want to review it with lace hanging over my eyelashes. So that is all I've done. This is what it looks like straight out of the box. No taming, nothing. It's just been plonked on my head. No box hair. That is quite rare to happen as well, I find, with synthetics. Usually they do need a little bit of work, but I've not done anything with this. So let me tell you a little bit more about the piece from what I know so far. It's a long piece, so it's 21 to 22 inches in length, and it has these lots of layers in it. So it's got these curtain bangs at the front, which I love, that frame the face, and these bits here. And it has these more face framing layers that go all the way down at the front to the lengths at the bottom. There's more layers throughout this piece as well, so if I pick up this bit at the back, you can see there's a shorter layer there, and it just gives this lovely shapely piece. It kind of looks like a freshly blown out style that you've had done at the salon. Just very glamorous, and reminds me a lot of another piece by a very big brand actually. Very similar in terms of the style, but the price tag is a lot less. This is a budget friendly piece, and I mean budget friendly piece, not like £400-500. That's not my interpretation of budget. Budget for me is probably about £100, and this sits in that bracket. On the website it's $129.99, and that's dollars, assuming American dollars, which in the UK is probably around about £100. I'm not particularly hot on exchange rates, but I think that's around about £100. So this for me is a true budget piece, but with lots of really great quality. That's difficult to say. Lots of really great quality features. Let me show you what she looks like all the way around. I love her, so lovely. So she has a lace front, so let me show you that. The lace runs all the way from the top of the ear tabs, which start about here, all the way over to the other side, just down to here. So the lace is really sheer, and the hair at the root is obviously darker. So I always find with darker hair that the knots can be a little bit more obvious if they're not actively bleached or lightened. So these knots, as you can see, they are visible, but I don't think they're massive. They're quite small, and you could easily disguise them with some powder if you wanted to wear the hair off the face. I always wear my hair down with my wigs. I think you've got great hair, you need to show it off. So that's the lace front. There is no permatease in this at all, which I love because I already feel like my head is quite large and I don't want to exacerbate that anymore. So having no permatease makes me very happy. It's a really sleek and smooth cap. So you can see that this part, it does look quite natural. You can see skin tone through, so it's not too dense in the part area. However, the side is really the only place that you can kind of part this piece, because it has a monofilament side parting, which means that if I was to try and change up the part and go over the other side or in the middle or something, you are likely to see wefts. So let me show you an example of that. So there you can see there's a weft and there's the top of the weft. So if I was to try and part it there, you could see I would have a visible weft, which you don't really want. So you've got to sort of keep it in this side part, but I think it looks lovely here. My only feedback really would be I wish that the parting area was a bit wider, because when you see the cap you'll see it's quite thin, so there's not a lot of flexibility with the parting on this. Let's have a look at the cap and see the construction of it. So here's the cap. So there is that ear-to-ear lace front, which I've already trimmed, and there is that monofilament side parting. So you can see it's actually quite narrow, and there's not a lot of room to move the part around. You have to line the parting up in that area for it to look like the hair is growing out of your scalp. If you part in these areas, you're going to see the wefts and it isn't going to look as natural. So yeah, this is all wefting, and then all around the back and sides is enclosed wefting as well. There are some ear tabs here. There's no sort of material cover over the top of them or anything, but I didn't find it uncomfortable when I had it on. But there are some combs on each side by the ear tabs actually, and if you don't find these useful, you can just unpick the stitching and you can remove them if you want to. There's also another comb at the back as well on the nape if you want it. It's just a measure of security, but if it's of no use or you aren't a fan of them, then you can remove them if you want to. There is an extended nape, and there are these hook adjusters on either side so that you can adjust this piece to fit your head size. My circumference is 21.5 inches, and this on the loosest setting fits me perfectly. I don't think you could get away with being any bigger than a 21.75 actually, just because there's no movement room in there for me at all. But you could definitely have a smaller size head, because this can get smaller because there's these additional loops to clip that hook into if you want to. So that's the cap. Let's get her back on again. So the other thing to say about this hair as well is not only is it synthetic, but it is a heat-friendly synthetic. So the website says that you can use heat of up to 275 to 300 degrees Fahrenheit. So in Celsius, that is around about 140 to 150 degrees Celsius. So you can use tongs, straighteners, etc. on this piece to style it in a different style if you wish. I will be leaving it exactly like this because I think this is perfect as it is. So the final thing I want to mention is that Glamvigor have been kind enough to give me a discount code that I can share with you. So if you want to purchase this piece for an even bigger budget price, you can get 10% off by adding my code, which is Lucy10. So let me know if you get one and what you think. I currently cannot recommend it highly enough, and I'll be wearing it, and I'm interested to see how it holds up after a night of wear. I'll see you soon.